Today, we're going to be discussing a topic that a lot of people, including myself, have been going back and forth with, and that's whether or not Kyler Murray is legitimately the franchise quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is a very interesting topic because a lot of the fan base is super split right now, especially after this 3-game losing streak. He has not put up his best performance. He has 5 turnovers, and this is just not a good stretch for him. But this team just isn't talented. And this goes into the point that I'm going to make right now, is that Kyler Murray is not in any position to make a single mistake. If he turns the ball over, there is a high chance we end up losing the game, and it's because this team just isn't talented enough. They cannot overcome the turnovers if there are any. If you turn it over twice like he did against Seattle, that basically just puts a team in such a bad position, and we don't have the defense to overcome that. Just like Lorenzo Alexander, a former Arizona Cardinal, said. Take a listen to this clip. It is very interesting.
Kyler needs to trust himself. He does it sometimes, but not all the time. And they need him to be all comfortable as far as what he's seeing in order for this offense to be what it needs to be for them to win games, right? Because you have the turnovers, right? This last, 5 turnovers in 3 weeks where he done the best job of it.
Yeah.
They're not good enough to overcome those yet, right? And all turnovers aren't created equal. But
Correct.
this team isn't good enough to overcome that quite yet, especially now that the defense hasn't been able to keep teams out of the end zone. And so when you have turnovers and now we're not keeping people out of the end zone, you end up losing more games than winning them.
The team is just not talented right now, and that is just the unfortunate part. It is unfair circumstances, but Kyler Murray has to play perfect ball for us to be in games, and he has not played perfect in any of these 3, and that's just the ultimatum. That's just the reality we're in, is Kyler has to play borderline perfect football. If he doesn't do that, we're not in a chance to win, and that's just the unfortunate circumstance of this team, but we're still in a good spot regardless, because I believe he is a franchise. And let me go ahead and take it back to last year, where with Josh Dobbs, the guy a lot of Cardinals fans have even resurfaced his name, saying that we should just bring him back for the cheap. We were 1-8 with Josh Dobbs, by the way, before Kyler Murray came back with a very similar roster, if not almost the exact same roster that we had last season, except we exchanged Hollywood Brown for Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, if you come into here and say that Marvin Harrison Jr. is a guy who elevates your team so much that he is getting you 5 wins before the season's even over and that Josh Dobbs would succeed, I think you're absolutely insane. The reason we're winning football games is because of Kyler Murray. Without Kyler Murray, you take him away and you subtract him from this team, we are not in this position. We're not 6-7 with this roster. Like, if you put Josh Dobbs behind center once again, we are a 1-2 to potentially a 3-win team at the very max. Like, this team is not fantastic. Kyler Murray is the reason this team is going, and I genuinely believe in him. I think he still is the franchise, and I think he's doing really well for what's given to him. I always thought this was a 3-year rebuild. If we take a look at what happened with the Detroit Lions, I brought this up multiple times. They went from like 2 wins to 8 wins to where they are right now. Dan Campbell has turned them around entirely, and it is a process. You have to get your building blocks. You have to get your building stones, your cornerstone pieces. They did that. They did it the right way. They had their quarterback in Jared Goff, did not give up on him, and look at where they're at right now. They're in a position that I think the Cardinals could potentially be in next year if they play their cards right. They have $100 million. They're going to have first-round draft picks. They're going to be able to bring in more talent, young talent as well. If the Cardinals hit on these picks, we're in a great spot. Go spend money. Go build the trenches. We're going to be okay. And I think the reason so many Cardinals fans are disappointed this season is because the NFC West at one point was very much open for grabs. Now, I thought we were going to be able to make the playoffs or have a chance at that, and I've been preaching that since the beginning of the season. But I thought it was going to be through a wild card spot, not winning the division. So when that was an option and the Cardinals fumbled that away, I think that just deterred a lot of Cardinals fans and kind of gave them like false hope or like false promises. Because at the beginning of the year, if you would have told us we would be 6-7 at this point in the season, I think everybody would have been happy. But since the NFC West was available, and since the NFC West could have been won, and the Arizona Cardinals did not perform, Kyler Murray did not perform in these 3 games, everybody's kind of coming through their necks. And the Seahawks and the Vikings, these are good football teams. Like, these are not scrub teams. So it's like, honestly, like, I understand that we lost these games. I underrated Seattle heavily. Did not think they were going to dominate us in the trenches like they did. But Minnesota, like, I genuinely thought we should have won that game. I thought the coaching staff should have went for the kill. And it's unfortunate that we go 0-3 and that Kyler Murray played his worst game of the season against Seattle. It sucks, but at the beginning of the year, I predicted 8 to 9 wins, which we still have a chance to do. So I think we just need to sit back, relax, understand that the expectation of winning the NFC West wasn't really in the cards. Like San Francisco, who would have thought that was going to happen? Seattle, better football team right now. They have more talent. We couldn't get it done. It is what it is. We're trending in the right direction, though. People need to stop giving up on Kyler so quickly. Why I say that is because the future plans in 2025, he's going to be the quarterback. The Cardinals owe him too much money anyways, and there's not a better option. So we're stuck with Kyler, whether you guys like that or not. He is going to be the quarterback going forward. I like that personally. I still think he's the franchise. We just need to get more talent around him. We're going to be in a very good spot. And like I said, there's not a better option. Who are you going to go get? Are you going to go get a Sam Darnold who you're going to go throw a bag at? Are you going to go get a Justin Fields? I think both of them are subjectively worse quarterbacks than Kyler Murray. Sam Darnold's in a great system. Justin Fields ain't it. There's not a better option out there. Are you going to go draft somebody? Like, that's not a good option to take. This season has been pretty successful in my eyes. Like, we're potentially going to get, 8 to 9 wins at the very minimum. In my eyes, I think we're going to take care of the Patriots. I think we're going to beat the Panthers, and those are the two at the very minimum. There's a chance we win out. There's also a chance we get one. Who knows? We'll see how the season plays out, but we're still in a good spot if we get 8 to 9 wins. That would be a very successful year. I genuinely think that the organization internally feels a lot differently than the people in our fan base. The fan base is going crazy right now, and I don't think the same belief in the organization is translated through the fan base. I think the organization has 100% faith in Kyler Murray. I think the teammates back him. And I think a lot of people are tripping right now. That's just my opinion. But if there was going to be a move off, it would be in 2026. That's when it starts to make sense, and then you can actually evaluate your options. A lot of people love Arch Manning. Everybody wants to see him in Arizona. Now, is that possible? I'm not sure. We have to see how next year plays out. That's looking way into the future. We have to take care of these last 4 games. Hopefully, we can win them out. That would be great. It would be great to get the belief back in the organization. If we win 10 games, a lot of people would buy back in. But I think next year is where everything truly starts to set in. The team continuity is going to be at an all-time high. The team chemistry is going to be at an all-time high. Like, there's no excuse for Kyler and Marvin not to connect. There's no excuse for the Cardinals not to put it together, and there's no excuse for them not to spend money. We need to do that, and we will be in a very good position, and I'm confident the Cardinals will be in contention to win the NFC West next year if they draft right and spend money. We got to be able to play better complementary football, and I think that is a very possible thing next year, and the Cardinals could probably get 10 wins next year. But although I am Team Kyler all the way, there are some problems that I have with him, and that is because he is not a perfect quarterback. Nobody in the NFL is. Nobody's even close right now. Quarterback play has downcreased so much since the beginning of my time watching football. We went from Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like all these great guys, to what we have now. It's not the same. Quarterbacks are not the same. Like, Joe Burrow kind of has that old quarterback swag to him, but there's not many people. But Kyler, I think, is a really viable option for 2024, and I do think he can get us to a Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. But there are things, like I said, that do worry me a little bit, but I think he can correct those, and that's timing. I think he needs to get the ball out better on time, and that has been a little bit of a problem. I think him and Marvin Harrison Jr. need to develop a connection ASAP. That needs to be fixed. It should be fixed going into next year, and hopefully in these last 4 games, they need to get right. And also, you can't understate that Kyler Murray, when big implications are on the line, has not won us a big game. When the NFC West was on the line in 2021, we lost out, and we lost to the Rams. The Rams actually beat us in the NFC West. They took the crown there. Kyler Murray couldn't get it done. We made the playoffs just because we had enough wins, and that is what it is. When Kyler Murray needed to win against Seattle to potentially win the NFC West, we lost, and that has continued for his whole career, and it's unfortunate. But Kyler, I think, can get that flipped around. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what reason Kyler Murray cannot get it done in those big games. Regardless, you can't understate that. As a Kyler Murray activist, I cannot understate that. That is one of my biggest problems. As soon as he can flip that narrative, we will be in a good spot, and I think he can. But we have to see. Only time will tell. Because he has also won some big games this year, like the one against San Francisco, Miami, the Chargers. He has led so many game-winning drives. I believe he has 13 game-winning drives and 11 fourth-quarter comebacks. Kyler Murray, still a very good quarterback, and he does have a clutch gene that people do not think he has. But in those big-time games where it could either clinch playoffs or put us in a better position for playoffs, just hasn't got it done. He needs to fix that, and I think he will. And my positives with Kyler are pretty good as well, because when he's hot, he is on fire. One of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league, especially with his legs. Nobody in the league can run like him, besides Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is probably one. Kyler Murray is right underneath Lamar, and nobody else is really close. His arm talent is absolutely insane as well. I wish Drew Petzing would utilize the deep ball a little more because Kyler is a fantastic quarterback, and Drew Petzing needs to give the opportunity to take more deep shots. Instead of playing so conservative and taking dink and dunks constantly, he needs to let it rip sometimes. Like last game, I think he did a great job at giving Kyler Murray the opportunity, and 2 picks came about. Let him do it more. I genuinely think that Kyler will get it on time. Like the first pick was egregious. The second one, good ball in my eyes. He just jumped it, and the timing has to be a little bit better there. But it's not a bad read. And the thing is, he was just an MVP candidate 3 weeks ago, and the fan base was fully bought in. And now there's a complete pivot and a complete switch. Now people hate him again. Like the inconsistency with this fan base is kind of driving me wild. I'm not going to lie. But we're still in a good spot. Kyler has proven that his ceiling is an MVP level player. We're fine. I genuinely believe that. People need to stop freaking out. I just think because this organization has been so bad for so long that people expect success every single year, and when we don't get that we just absolutely deserve it, and when we don't get it, they just freak out. So, I mean, it's understandable. We have been poverty for so long, but this is the first time we've entered a legit rebuild or a roster destruction where we were fine just getting rid of all those guys who did not fit the culture. Monty and Jonathan Gannon are building this thing the right way, and Kyler Murray is a big piece to that. Hopefully you guys start to buy in. Hopefully you guys will start to see that, and hopefully he can flip the narrative of not being able to win big games, because that is a huge stain on his career so far, and I think he's going to do it. He's taken a huge step up in leadership, and in my opinion, he is a way better pocket passer and has a way better feel for the pocket. He just has to fix a little bit of things like the timing, and we're in a very good spot. Let's finish the season strong. Let's go 3-1. Let's go 4-0, and let's flip the narrative. Let's see what we can do. I'm excited, man. With that being said, though, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know down in the comment section below how you guys are feeling about Kyler Murray. Do you believe in him? Do you think he's a franchise? Do you think we need to move off? What are your long-term plans? What do you think? And also, if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL-related content. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.